Hello, hello, YouTube. First live stream. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. It looks like we are absolutely live. And we're going to be talking about Web3. And I am going to go ahead and just pop in and put me on EG, so Instagram, and get this moving. And we're going to be chatting real short about just some things that I'm seeing happening in the market, and I wanted to just discuss. So awesome. All right, awesome. We are live in Instagram. So live on the Awaken Beauty podcast, live stream on YouTube as well in Instagram. And I just wanted to hop on. I had some super inspiring morning today, and I am seeing more and more of these ecosystems pop up. And I think that as a clinical hypnotherapist and someone that's in mental health, I just kind of wanted to have a discussion about Web3. What is the potential as an entrepreneur? Possibly you're a hypnotherapist, a healer, whatever that looks like for you, is to really open up the possibilities. And one of the things that we had a conversation about today in a room in Clubhouse was a lot of different people were asking me about, okay, Cass, well, you're a coach, how do you see the ecosystems within Web3 and masterminds happening, and how can I market this to other coaches? And what are you seeing in the market? And there's a couple of things that I wanted to just bring up that I got a lot of feedback from that I was a little bit hesitant in talking about. And that was about the influx of coaches that have come into the market since 2 years ago, since the pandemic. And I applaud any coach, any healer, any leader in the industry stepping into putting themselves out there, because it is hard work. And one of the things that I brought up is that we don't talk about is, number one, the influx of coaches. I will honestly say that I am not a coach, right? I coach women, quote unquote, but I am not a coach. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I have a lot of experience in energetics as well as quantum biofeedback, and really getting really precise on what is going on underneath the surface, whether that's in the subconscious mind. And then I'll just call it a divine gift of being able to see of what's going on in the field, meaning the energetic field. So it is the holographic body that I pay attention to as far as upgrading, healing, as well as really looking at the subconscious imprints, and even energetically, those subconscious imprints that we bring in from past generational. And so, going back to the coaching industry and why we've seen this influx, one of the things that I wanted to bring up, and sorry if my eyes are kind of going back and forth, but one of the things that I wanted to bring up, I'm going to see if I can just bring my Instagram a little bit lower down so I can be a little bit more present, is the situation where a lot of coaches are jumping in and they're following suit with the patterns in the coaching industry. So they're popping into different courses and different masterminds and different strategies and tactics and hoping that it'll work for them. Now, as someone that is neurodiverse and has ADHD, I fully understand the impulse and the dopamine when you feel that height of the moment of feeling really excited about jumping into something that you'll be able to produce for somebody else. And you start to attach to that. And that alone is sometimes an attachment theory that we have as clinical hypnotherapists, and even how that can show up when you then jump into a coaching community. And for many times, what I have experienced is that I get into a coaching community and I see something that somebody has taken from somebody else and has copied and has tried to bring it in and teach the same thing, either without giving credit or just kind of minutiaing around it. And you can feel the energy. It just feels really icky. And so as I brought this up in the Clubhouse room, I had all these people start giving feedback, both in the chat as well as online, talking about how much they also are seeing that. And I don't think that any of us can say that we haven't hopped into that kind of situation or haven't fallen prey to wanting to go and recreate something. We're always recreating, and you never make anything up. You're always reiterating what somebody else has given to you, which I fully applaud. But I just want to say that there is a pattern that comes in, and I think a lot of people use trauma-informed in various different ways. But that is something that, and if you go on to my Instagram feed, I'm also on YouTube, is I have a post that says, are your values aligned with your business? And something that I do first and foremost with anybody that's wanting to start their own coaching, start their own business, be a hypnotherapist, and especially now, and what I titled this live is Web3 and how do you tokenize your community, is something really important to me, which is trauma informed, meaning not bringing Web 2 type of infrastructures in a way that we move on the streets as coaches or healers, et cetera, and really stepping it up, like consciousness up in the Web3 space. And so one community that I am a part of right now within Clubhouse is where I met this beautiful community, because that is where all the innovation I truly believe is in Twitter spaces and Clubhouse right now. If you really want to be ahead of the game, is watching coaches, hypnotherapists, healers come in and try to create in the Web3 space. Is that as someone that contributes to Astro Emojis, the largest metaverse in the mental health space, is that we're very fine-tuned to not recreating trauma and traumatizing other people as leaders, as coaches or hypnotherapists. And what I mean by that is the whole point of creating a coin or creating an NFT is really to bring the unconscious into conscious, as well as your essence into form that other people can experience. So one thing that I'm going to give full cred to Gary Henderson and what he's doing with his community is something that I think is probably like the best example of not re-traumatizing and bringing old Web 2 into Web 3, is that Gary, actually, I heard my story and his story. And what I mean by that is that he said he would get into a lot of masterminds, or he would get into a coaching community, and he would have these ideas and he would air them and they'd get poo-pooed down. And that can be for a number of reasons. And a lot of that is because of hierarchy. We don't want other people's ideas to be applauded over ours. And so I often talk about the entrepreneur 4.0. And if I were to give you a picture, this is the car versus the rocket. And I get this, always giving cred, is from my absolute mentor, Roger Hamilton, who created the Wealth Dynamics program. And when you look at the car versus the rocket, right, the car is very, very slow, whereas the rocket has a community around them. They are very innovative. I wish I could pull it up so that I could show you what that strategically looks like, but I will do that another time. And within the rocket ship, things move very, very fast. But what Gary and what I also am going to be creating is that you could get a coin. So there's NFTs that are being talked about right now, and then there's coins. Both of them, you can use the same word, tokenized community. And so what Gary has done is he had some frustration with a certain service company that creates coins for creators. And his purpose to create his mastermind was to say, I don't want to ding you like membership prices and a bunch of members come in and are paying you this paid amount each month, and you have to continually produce for people that are coming in and out. And a membership and community is super trendy right now too. But you have to be on point. You have to allow your community to see your North Star. And if they're not seeing that North Star and they're not feeling like they're getting value and also being able to contribute to the community, then you're going to have huge attrition. So let me put a concept I'm going to plant a seed. We are in the Life and Bloom community, right? So I'm going to plant a seed on what Web3 and coins versus an NFT and tokenized community could create, and what Gary's doing and what I'm going to be doing is that I bought a number of Gary coins. And from those Gary coins that I purchased, that brought me to a gateway that allowed to unlock a certain coaching stratosphere in his community. From there, his main mission and what my main mission, and I'm just kind of creating corollaries, is to create income for creators and to grow them, as well as anybody that steps into my ecosystem. Is yes, we do group hypnotherapy because I believe that every single level that you level up as a creator, an entrepreneur, a leader, a visionary, whatever that is, those old attachment theories, those old ways that you dealt with trauma or have been traumatized in your life will pop up. And this is where we see that rise when you get into a new community or you buy a new course. There's that dopamine dip, meaning you've got it, you're in there for maybe a week, and then you feel really guilty that you even joined because you don't have time or you're not able to elevate. And those are all old intricacies of how trauma shows up in your business. And so something I'm creating with the coin that I will be creating is a group hypnotherapy that's very high level, as someone that does this often and then also reads the energetics in the biofield, is making sure that bringing in the knowledge from Lynn McTaggart, and that when we look at Web3, right, and we look at the creator economy and we bring people into that stratosphere all at the same time, and people are moving forward, the group hypnotherapy allows the energetics for all of that trauma to collapse at accelerated amount, as well as put the energetics of the body and the mind in that tension that's moving you towards your North Star. It also then, within the tokenized aspect of when you buy a coin, I'm not telling you the name yet of what that coin will be, is that versus a membership where you're paying $49 a month and you're getting 700,000 PDFs and you're getting 13,000 meditations you can download, it's too much. The new way of marketing and running communities, in my belief system and what works for my nervous system, as well as other entrepreneurs who, by the way, you have a 300% increase of having ADHD, meaning you live in hypervigilance. You live for the dopamine. So what I mean by that is the structure of that first, those who buy that coin will actually unlock my courses. And that first course, and you can see the course up on my IG Live. Hey guys, so glad that you are here. Great to see you, Bob. Is that first course is the Flow R Accelerator. I like to call it the Flow R Freedom Accelerator. And basically what that means, I'm going to make sure that I've got, yes, I do have the right mic. The Flow R Accelerator is going to put you in two different assessment profiles. Number one is your frequency, your genius, meaning there are cycles to time and there are cycles to business. And would you know that it actually is attached to the I Ching, which is the book of life in Chinese medicine? And would you know the I Ching is what Carl Jung, who basically is at the root of every single personality profile, created it from the I Ching. So for instance, your frequency, you're one of the four. I am a dynamo, I'm wood element. So I'm a creator. I have a lot of energy. And then when you move into the summer, you're in the fire energy. Those are people that are going to take that business and they're going to light it up, right? They're the marketers, they're talking on Instagram. And then you've got to take that business and you got to slow it down into fall. You got to take it into harvest. And when you bring it into harvest, you're slowing it down to make sure that all these pieces are coming together and you actually have a systemized business. And then fall goes into winter into metal energy. Now, in that transition, for instance, somebody like Warren Buffett is certainly not a creator. Warren Buffett certainly is a deal maker, and he certainly is steel energy. What does he do? He sits on money, he studies it, and he knows when to catch and release. That's what he does. So he's on that left side of the quadrant. Let's talk about Air Jordan. Let's talk about basically Nike. If this is actually cutting edge news, Nike, if you want to talk about NFTs and coins and tokenized communities and how you're going to be actually accessing different things and different brands, Nike just put a patent on digital shoes. What does that mean? They're bringing their ecosystem into the metaverse. They're already on top of it. Same thing with Ralph Lauren, same thing with many other brands. Gucci, I'm the beauty industry. You can walk into a Gucci store with your Oculus or not, and you can just look at a shelf and you have access to purchase that purse right there. Back to my story. Wealth dynamics. You have the full cycle of the seasons. You have to understand who are you in those seasons and who do you need in the other seasons, and how do you bring your business, your community, your Web3 project, your NFT, and make sure that you have all the other seasons in account, right? Then you have in this course that will be the first unlock course with this coin, is you will then have the wealth dynamics assessment, which then gives you your one path to wealth. Now, there are 8 paths to wealth. And this goes back to when I first started this live, if you go back all the way to the beginning. And those 4 paths to wealth, or 8 paths to wealth, the 4 frequencies, the 4 different seasons, right? The 8 paths to wealth is going to be where your wealth times leverage equals value. The more value you bring into the market and the more people you connect to, Web3, creator economy, you're much more advantageous to create wealth when you're connected to other people's flow that connects to your flow. And that's when you then start playing the infinite game. But that one path to wealth is very unique to you. And you have to understand which one is best for you. And otherwise, you will fall short too. And this goes back to coaches and how many coaches there are now and how many repeated things that you see on the internet. It makes you want to puke. Work on your money mindset, 10K in one day, in 6 weeks or less. There is no fast cash, my friends. And me getting into the Web3 and the creator economy, it is a long game and it is hard work when only 3% of the industry understands what an NFT is. You have a lot of educating to do. But if you fall short to making this dream your reality, you will be that person that saw Nike put a patent on digital shoes saying, I knew this was going somewhere and I didn't put my foot in the ground and lead the way, right? So that's what I'm here to do and help other creators also do, just like Gary's doing in his community. But that one path to wealth then helps you understand connecting your element when you have the most energy, all of that in that Freedom Accelerator course. I give you different courses are going to have different modules on your peak states based on your best flow states. It's going to give you access to the right people that you should be connecting and creating in your creator economy group or your mastermind, and understanding what everybody's element is so that you can play the infinite game. Now, this goes into then, again, this next piece I want to talk about within the creator economy and why I'm so excited about it is that the Web 2, definitely Web 1, and centralized systems, meaning centralized banking systems, centralized big three, the Googles, they own your data, right? If Facebook goes down and Facebook went down, they own your data. And everybody else tell you, yeah, you have to have an email list. That's great. But people own your data. And the reason why this is coming in so fast, and I want it to help other creators and hypnotherapists and healers and all of the people in my stratosphere, is that unless you get on this train and understand that you can step into a decentralized market and grow surmountably and grow your income like you wouldn't believe, because you're taking out all the middlemen. You're taking out people that control how your stuff flows. I comment in Facebook all the time because I'm getting back in the game, just to kind of play around with the market a little bit. I feel like it's a waste of my time, but I'm going to keep trying. But you then can decentralize and you have access, you have power, and you make the money. Now, yeah, you're going to pay gas fees if you're purchasing an NFT for your first time, but that's getting sussed out and that's going to get figured out over time. So not only are you creating an ecosystem, not only am I going to be creating an ecosystem where you will purchase a coin, and to own that coin, as more people come into our community, more of that coin's value is going to go up in market share. That coin's market share continues to grow, and we continue to grow as a community. And as we grow, I can then create another paywall and getting more and more access, whether that's summits. And when you come into the summit versus paying a fiat price and you're just getting like some random, 4 videos to listen to for the rest of your life, that summit access is actually going to give you coins, and you can use those coins to then unlock anything you want in the Life in Bloom ecosystem, whether that's courses to the Flow R accelerator that I was talking about, how to systemize your business and make sure you've got your one path to wealth and you understand how your peak states of flow are personalized to you, to the Unlock the Garden of Your Mind group hypnotherapy sessions, so that I'm helping you understand what kind of intricacies of trauma that you're bringing into your business and attachment styles when you hire coaches, and how you continue to sabotage yourself because of those, but you're not aware of it, right? And how these top level innovators, creators can come into this ecosystem that has the emotional support, can vivify their future, because otherwise the tension of stress will always pull you back into your predominant state, your autopilot, back in your default mode network, versus creating the tension so heavy that that rubber band pulls towards your North Star, and everything that you orientate in your subconscious and your training, everything in your entire environment, Life in Bloom ecosystem, is that you're continuing to pull out the weeds and plant the nutrients that you need to survive in the new creator economy and stay abreast of all the things that are coming out. So that's kind of what I wanted to really share as far as healers, hypnotherapists, creators, is to really start thinking about tokenized communities and how, instead of taking that fiat money and they're just paying you this $20 or $40 every single month, create a mastermind that has a coin, that has your coin attached to it, that has it branded, as well as creates influx that every person that joins and buys your coin gets paywall access to you, as well as what you're offering. And whether it's events, whatever that is, get some people super excited to have ownership. It goes back to what pure capitalism is. It's equal or greater value, and people have ownership in the community and they bring value to the community, which is huge. To me, that's what a true mastermind is. It's not some guru standing at the top. It's someone that brings everybody together to bring value into the community. And that's what I believe this is. And so the coin that I'll be dropping is probably a couple months away. I've got all of my courses locked and loaded in a gamified structure on a epic platform that has a ton of fun and community assets that actually surprises and delights you every single module you release. And we will be creating a community of innovative healers, hypnotherapists, coaches, what have you, in a trauma-informed way that is not bringing all of those basically slang into this community that says, it's a mindset issue. You need to up-level your mindset. To me, it's complete bullshit. Your mindset, and when you go and try to hit goals and you don't hit them and you continue, if you don't even know how you're setting your goals and why you're setting the goals you are, usually there's trauma attached to it and you're trying to get away from something. So there's even a whole trauma-informed way that we set goals and really attach our nervous system to it so that it feels replenishing every single small step that you take, and that you actually feel like you're getting momentum and not going into those feedback loops of letting yourself down and feeling like it's your fault because someone told you it's your mindset, when really you haven't really sussed out the weeds in the garden of your mind and really working through, well, whose thought is that? And what else could be possible here? So that's what the group hypnotherapy sessions will do when you unlock the coin. That's what the coin will do when you buy a certain amount of them, will unlock the courses. And here's the best part, and here's where I'm going to end it, is that we're going to be setting it up on the Solano chain, which is low gas fees. It's accessible to all. You'll be able to even create your own coin, and I would love to help you do that as well. Is that when you join a tokenized community with a coin, not only does that coin continue to go up because I'm continuing to add value, if you decide to sell your coin on the market, secondary market or a swap, you actually get all your money back. So your development is guaranteed. You get to be a part of a fun and growing community that you have ownership of. And if you find that you're like, yeah, like I'm rocking it, or I had something change in my finances that I need that money back, I don't even have to offer a guarantee. I don't have to do the slimy thing where it says offer the guarantee, your numbers will go up 10x because people feel like, they can get a discount later and they just forget they're paying you every month, which is also really slimy and something coaches and tactics teach. But you actually can sell your coins, get all your money back, and take all the wisdom with you. To me, that's a win-win. Now, why would you want to sell your coin? I don't know, because everybody's appreciation keeps going up. But there's so much more to that, and the psychology and how it works that I'll explain on another video. But for purposes only of tonight, I wanted to start having people start thinking about what is Web3. Web 1 was internet was born. Web 2 was Instagram and Facebook. They own your data. Web 3, decentralization, everything. You take the power back in your hands, and these toxic hierarchies in government and rigged bank systems that are centralized are going to slowly start to diminish. And this is where we rise up as creators, that we set the rules, we say what we want to earn, and we make sure that everybody in the community is getting what they deserved. Not to say that there's a lot of bullshit in this industry as well, because there's a lot of rug pulls, but that's where you come into a safe community and you learn about those things. So that's Web3. That's about creating your own coin, some things to get excited about. I'm super excited. I'm going to be, offering a coin. The first course is going to be the Freedom, basically the Flow R Accelerator, R meaning with a capital R results, because it's going to diminish literally 80% of your work. It is going to help you understand exactly who you need to hire for your business, exactly who you need to play the infinite game with. Web 2, finite game. I win, you lose, I make money. It's a membership. You don't like it, you're not getting value. It's okay, I'm getting my money. Web 3, infinite game. The more people you connect your flow to and help them win, the more you flow. Think of it like a river. right? If you come in and you create really, really strong value, you shorten those beds around the water, and you create velocity of money by creating really, really strong boundaries of people understanding who you are, what you offer, and they're getting the value. And you're bringing other people into your flow. Wealth times value equals leverage. So you want to leverage the people around you and help them build your economies at scale. And that's the infinite game, because when you're done at the end of the day, wealth is really what is left over when all the money is gone. Let me say that again. Wealth at the end of the day is what is left over when all the money is gone. And that is the community, that is the healing that you offer, that is the conversation and honest conversations that are decentralized, meaning you no longer have to say what you should, you say what your truth is. That's what I'm talking about with the infinite game, Web3, and creating your own coin and tokenized communities. Don't jump on the bandwagon, my friends. There's a lot of flight. There's a lot of dopamine hits that you will go up and you'll hit an absolute brick wall if you're not in a community that's not educating you and at top of the game. I'm in Gary's community. If you're interested, just go ahead and send me some of your information. I'd be happy to get you in and help you understand how you can get access to that mastermind. It's very private. You have to really understand what you want to contribute and get into that community. And it's gold, absolutely gold, but I want to make sure it's a good fit for you. If you're interested, just reach out to me. Thanks everybody that was on YouTube live. Finally figured that out. Thanks everybody that is joining me on Instagram. Matt, so great to meet you and see you. I just love being in community with you and Lori's community, and Miriam, good to see you. Anyways, that was it. Live on Instagram and YouTube, talking about how to not bring old traumas in Web 2 into Web 3. Decentralized community. If you want some really hot projects right now, I'm a part of the Astro Emoji project. Oh, I should totally bring up my, let me see if I can find, it says choose a different asset. So I talked about the Flow Accelerator. Let me show you those that are on Instagram, what my Astro Emoji NFT is. It's super dope. And Astro Emojis is a project Marwin created, and we have tons and tons and tons. Ooh, let me show you. First of all, this is my giraffe. This is in the Gary. So this is the community. What's up, Jill? This is the community that I have with my NFTs. I got 2 giraffes. That's one of my kick-ass giraffes, and everybody on YouTube can't see it right now, but that is my giraffe. That's one of my collectors. And the Astro Emoji project, Marwin is just an incredible, incredible artist. And the Astro Emoji really is kind of a play off of your Innerverse, right? So here's my Astro Emoji NFT. And love this one. And it's replicant of me, right? It's got blonde hair, it's got the little blue, got blue eyes. But this is really, the Astro Emoji project is really all about the Innerverse and bringing mental health into the metaverse. Owen is a great, great friend of mine. If you're not aware of the Awaken Beauty podcast, I'll see if I can find my episode with Owen. And Owen is with Sphere Health. He also has a ton of history in the mental health industry. And what he is doing is he is actually, here it is, if you want to go to this episode with Owen, we had a great conversation about really revolutionizing mental health. And really what Owen and the Astro Emojis group is doing is, again, decentralized mental health. And so we're bringing mental health professionals, and we're restructuring and re-looking at what we can really do with insurance companies. What does that looks like to be decentralized in the metaverse with mental health professionals? How can they protect their license? How can they bring their license in? I mean, you want to talk about health insurance and Web 2 toxicity, man, I mean, just to give a DSM, just to get somebody help to get them a certain medication is like jumping hoops for both parties. And we got to be done with that. The blockchain, let me give you an example. The blockchain, if you put the blockchain into insurance, guess what? You get to actually see what you're paying for your care. You get to actually see what the real cost of that surgery was. And you don't have to go through all of these loopholes and all of these inflated prices that really beat the care provider up as well as the one being cared for. So let's bring some humanity back into, mental health care and people getting services that are well beyond, needs to be an upgrade for sure. So check that out. Dr. Owen, he owes me a conversation. He just got back from a summit way out across seas. So glad people are flying again. So that's it. That's the end of this live. Thank you so much, everybody on YouTube that joined me. If you want to catch the Awaken Beauty podcast, we're going to have a lot more new people on talking about Web3 and mental health and bringing all of these different ecosystems together and what's possible. At the height of my vision, I'm working with Trip right now, Manny over at Trip, and there's a lot of different apps coming out. When I first put on my Oculus, when I put on an Oculus and I was like, this is like not my thing. I am not a gamer. I don't have a lot of time to waste, but I do have a lot of research in the physiology of behavior management, as well as the nervous system and co-regulation. And when I popped on the Oculus and I stepped into Trip's ecosystem, and I stepped into an environment that was nature all around me and this beautiful woman's voice going through a meditation. Oh my gosh, it was life transformative. So not only is my coin going to offer group hypnotherapy, but I'm actually working with some different partners right now on creating Oculus experiences in the group hypnotherapy that, I mean, the impact on your nervous system and the neurocircuitry and the default mode network and how it just decouples the entire body into this immersive experience and how fast you can rewire your brain and your nervous system. It's game changing. So yes, that coin that you're going to purchase within the tokenized community that we're creating is also going to be cutting edge. And it is my mission to help other hypnotherapists, meditative, the meditation industry on to create just small group structures. There's big programs and big apps out there, but how can a small creator like you actually create these immersive experiences that are affordable and actually give them then to your community in a way that you can educate them and onboard them and help them experience it as well. So everybody on YouTube, Awaken Beauty podcast, check it out. Check out Owen's. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, sweet, sweet beauty ecology client. I love you so much. Thanks everybody for joining. If you got any feedback for me, something that was helpful for you, please let me know. Again, it's my mission to really help entrepreneurs understand that we no longer have to feel like our business is traumatizing us. And there is a new train in town. And I really want you to get on board and understand the value that it brings to you in a decentralized market and the value that it brings to your economy and flow that you're creating around you. And with that, all my love and all my light, remember wealth times value equals leverage. And at the end of the day, wealth is what is left when all the money is gone. And that, my friends, is the legend that you create. All right. We'll see you guys on the next one. Sayonara. Thanks, everyone. Much love, much light. Make sure